No Man's Sky had a big update this week, you may have heard. So big has the next update been in terms of chatter and coverage online that it almost feels like a whole new game has landed.
No Man's Sky Next touched down on Tuesday, July the 24th, bringing with it some of the biggest changes the game has seen since it launched back in 2016. Hello Games and figurehead Sean Murray delivered a free update that feels more like one of the biggest gaming moments of the year than a simple content patch. Next adds a new third-person camera, unlimited base building, a graphical overhaul and plenty more. But the most headline-grabbing addition is of course multiplayer. The lack of multiplayer in the No Man's Sky base game was probably the single biggest thing that earned Hello Games and Sean Murray so much scorn after the game's launch. Back in 2016, two players found themselves close to each other in the game's procedurally generated universe and met up on the exact same spot during a live stream. Only they couldn't see each other. It was a big controversial moment. Well, 2 years later, and Next finally fixes that, bringing with it a full suite of multiplayer features. Except that is, if you bought it on GOG.
Customers who bought No Man's Sky through the DRM-free PC gaming store GOG discovered this week as the game launched that they would not have multiplayer in their version of the game, at least until later this year. All copies of No Man's Sky bought through GOG as opposed to Steam on PC will have to make do with the single-player game only for the time being, albeit with all the other improvements and additions of the next update. Hello Games released a statement explaining the delay like this, quote, "For a small independent studio, developing the feature across multiple platforms is a hugely ambitious and technical challenge which resulted in this delayed release. Hello Games is, however, joining forces with GOG.com to introduce full multiplayer via the GOG Galaxy platform." GOG themselves later posted an update announcing that at entirely the site's own cost, they would offer an extended refund policy for all owners of No Man's Sky. All No Man's Sky players who bought their game through the platform can request a refund in GOG wallet funds until July the 29th, so hurry up if you want to do that.
And while that may certainly have taken the shine off Next's launch for some players, it appears many others are having a nice time with the updated game. The Steam data site Steam Charts shows the game had a 24-hour peak of almost 54,000 players on Wednesday, just over a full day after the Next update released. It's the most players the game has had since launch 2 years ago, when some 212,000 logged in to play on Steam. The game has been the top-selling game on Steam for most of this week, helped along no doubt by the half-price discount it's currently got. Steam reviews have also taken a shift, with recent reviews sitting at very positive based on feedback from 3,432 players. And perhaps more dramatically is that the rating for all reviews has moved from mostly negative up to a mixed, thanks to the recent influx of positive reviews. Sean Murray even highlighted this in a tweet saying, "We mixed now, boys." None of these figures of course tell us how the game is doing on PS4, where it's also currently selling for half price, and on Xbox One, where it launched for the first time alongside the Next update on Tuesday.
It's been a big week for Hello Games and Sean Murray and No Man's Sky players, because you've had a big update and the game has changed dramatically, and there's tons of new people coming in. And I've kind of read, anecdotally speaking, I've read a lot of people online saying, well, I refunded this back in the day. I played it for 2 hours, refunded it, or I traded in my copy or whatever. And I'm going back into it now because it does sound more like the thing that I originally thought it was going to be, and they have put an awful lot of work into this, and you can see the payoff for them is that it's selling like hotcakes on Steam, and the reviews are going up from mostly negative to mixed. I didn't think that would happen. There's like 82,000 reviews on it on Steam, or so many of them negative. I thought that would just weigh it down for forever, but they've managed to turn it around, and it's now mixed on Steam, which is huge.
So we've briefly outlined some of the changes that they've made. If you want a full list of the patch notes, we'll probably leave a link in the description of the video. But hence to say, this game, from my perspective, is worth playing now. I mean, I played it a lot at launch, was disappointed like everybody else. I listened to Sean Murray's lies about multiplayer, about various other things. I was disappointed, I'll be honest. But now, this is testament to how much effort and hard work that they've put in over the last 2 years to try and redeem themselves. I think that they've got a genuinely decent product here. Again, just my opinion. You're entitled to think what you want, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I've played with some of the guys on Discord. It seems like a game. There's stuff to do now. It's fun. The multiplayer thing adds a lot to it, and I, for one, I'm definitely in the. I think this is a good game now camp, because there's not. I mean, there wasn't a lot. It's funny to see how people have changed their opinions based on what they've done, because I feel like they've earned. It's hard work that they've put in over the last 2 years. They've earned some sort of recognition for what they've done. Maybe not Sean Murray, because Sean Murray, it's himself. But I'm talking here directly about Hello Games, because there's a team of developers there who've all put blood and sweat into this under these updates over the last 2 years, and they should be congratulated for what they've achieved.
I mean, I'd always take a better game over an apology or some kind of, I don't even care about the apology stuff anyway. But even if it was kind of we apologise, sorry about that, buy our next game. That's not what they've done. They've just kind of gone, well, we'll just keep working on it, and they've changed the game, and they've kind of done. They've made amends through their actions, I guess you'd say. They've literally just delivered on the promises eventually, rather than apologise and then fucking move on to something else, which is what a lot of developers would do. I'm having a nice time with the game. I've not played that much of it, but we've played a bit on Twitch, so if you want to watch some of our kind of gameplay stuff, you can still catch the VODs on Twitch. We've streamed it twice, I think, one before the update and one after, so you can see immediately what the changes are. I think, again, what we've said before is what's most encouraging, that they're not saying this is it now, nice one, you've got this update, we'll move on to something else. They're still talking like this is just part of the process. We're doing more in the future. There's weekly updates going to be from now on, because it's a multiplayer game now. They kind of have to do that. They've got to patch it. It definitely needs some patches. It's kind of stuttering and stuff on PlayStation. Everyone is kind of reporting that, from what I can tell. Anyone who's played it on PlayStation saying there's some performance problems and stuff. So there's still more work to do. There's more things to add to the game, and that's the beautiful thing. It's a game about the universe, so anything that makes sense and anything that's doable, they could add in the future. So
it's the ultimate sandbox now, space sandbox, which is an exciting proposition in itself. And going forward with the community events and stuff that they've promised as well, and the future support, they've said so far that there's not going to be any microtransactions. How they're going to support the company moving forward, the dev team financially, without offering microtransactions as a way of sustaining their efforts, essentially. Weird to think about it, but No Man's Sky might actually turn into a really good example for the rest of the industry, offering all these updates for free going forward without any loot boxes, microtransactions, any of that bullshit. It would be very weird if that happens and No Man's Sky was heralded. Is that the right word?
I don't know.
Was hailed.
Praised?
No Man's Sky. And if it was hailed for its pro-consumer practices after all that shit at launch, well, that would be very weird.
They've done what I really enjoy about Divinity Original Sin 2, and they've just kind of kept the price solid at what it is. It was 40 quid back in the day. It's still 40 quid. It's still almost full price on Xbox New. Yeah, it's currently discounted now because this is, they just want to capitalise on the sales and stuff. That's all they're doing. They're just keeping the price up there rather than selling stuff and discounting the game down to like a $5 or whatever you get on Steam sales these days. They just cut it down to half price at max. The game is holding its value, and so you don't need microtransactions and stuff and so on. But also the fact they're just a small studio. They haven't got a team of like 500 people that all need salaries, so they don't have to put all that kind of shit in it. They don't have to put microtransactions in it.
Just one other thing. For all the people saying, do you forgive Sean Murray? Does this mean you forgive Sean Murray? I personally no. I mean, I don't forgive Sean Murray. I just like playing games, so I'm just going to play the game and just not worry about all that shit. They delivered on what they promised. That'd be the end of it. I mean, I just don't want to bear a grudge. Is that fair? I think that's fair.
Well, I mean, yeah. I just don't care. I just want to play a nice space game, innit? Yeah. I just want to play that.
Yeah. So, if you're looking for outrage, just go somewhere else, I guess. Talking of outrage, let's check out your comments.
Talking of looking for outrage.
So commenting on our previous No Man's Sky video, Nick Serrano says, "This looks awesome. Let's hope we get a VR update next."
VR would be big.
It would be really cool.
Yeah, and it could work because you don't need to like run around. It's not the kind of game where it's the kind of game where that VR transport thing of just teleporting around. It could work. I think it could work. And then when you're in the ship or you're in one of the land vehicles, you could actually just move around and drive because you don't need to move your legs, if you know what I mean. So it could work. Big ask though. Big ask, I reckon. Also commenting is Looshmate, who says, "In all honesty, it was exactly how I thought it would be at launch, but this looks like an appropriately priced game." You want to calm down, mate. That's some excited words there. Just settle
So
down,
appropriate,
have a cup of tea. Just, rein it in.
Never Knows Best says, I like how your introductions are always a little awkward.
How dare you?
A little awkward is like how I like to live my life. Just a little bit awkward, not too much, just a little bit.
I'm going to be so self-conscious now with the intros. And Super Chris says, your voice make me want to drink coffee. It's like a perfect morning voice, lol. I don't know what you're talking about there, really, but...
morning voice? Like a radio voice? Is that what it means? Like a radio...
I'm actually quite ill at the moment, so I've got like this croak going on. I think some people sound better with a croak, though. Not me, but I think some people... I think when some people sound ill, that's actually less annoying than your real voice. No one in the office, so don't worry.
What are you talking about, mate?
So are you playing No Man's Sky next? Let us know what you think about it down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. Now there's another one right there which you could watch right now if you want. And a link to Patreon if you fancy supporting the channel. See you next time.